8th through 10th at the Icebox. You can purchase a December weekend package now to lock in your seats for all 3 games while only paying for the value of 2 of them. Skate on down to the Icebox or head to LincolnStars.com to purchase your tickets today.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Everybody wants a classic Christmas. Well, there's nothing more classic than cash. So until January 3rd, 2024, enter non-winning Nebraska Lottery Holiday Classic scratch tickets online, and you could win $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, or $20,000. Hurry and jingle all the way to your nearest Nebraska Lottery retailer and have yourself a classic little Christmas with the whole family of Holiday Classic scratch tickets. Top prize odds vary by game.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
Welcome to the Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. This is 93.7 The Ticket. Hey, the Get Your Happy On Hour, man, we kind of break away from the norm a little bit. But tonight, I actually got a guest that I'm very excited about. So before we get to my guest, I would like to share a couple things with you. This holiday season, please be safe. You know, don't take anything for granted. The weather's been favorable, which is good, but we know one day that's going to change, so be careful. Another thing I want to make a little announcement too is I have one more show next week, and then there will be no shows for the following 2 weeks. The Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, there will be no show. So I guess after next week will be the last week of 2023 that I'll be doing shows, and I just want to make sure everybody's aware of that. I am not going away. I'm just going to be missing in action for a couple of weeks. I want to thank everybody too, man. I mean, I've really got a lot of positive feedback from people watching the show, and I just want to say thank you. I think sometimes we forget to say thank you, and I just want to let you know I appreciate you. But tonight we got a very interesting show because I have a guest tonight that I've had before, but I asked her to come back because I just got to be honest with y'all. I'm not very educated on the sport of volleyball, and I'm trying to learn something. So hopefully you guys can learn with me. Mandy Monson, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be back. I love being at the ticket.
You like the ticket?
Oh, man, I love it.
Well, good. Well,
yeah.
Well, like I said, and Mandy, I don't know where she came from, but she brought treats with her as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, right here.
Yeah, I'm going to have the
cupcakes.
Yeah, she got cupcakes and everything. So I got to get Ben and Bach and Austin to help me out with some of these treats, man. That's just a little too much for me.
I know.
Well, Mandy, again, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I just want to know, I know this part right here, but I want you to share with all the listeners and the viewers.
Sure.
About your upbringing. Let's start with your upbringing. You grew up in a big city.
Big city. Big city. Wallace, Nebraska.
Big shout out to Wallace, Nebraska.
That's right. That's right. If you're going down the interstate, if you're going west, going west from Lincoln. We're going west. You're gonna hit Wallace in about 4 hours. You're gonna go. This is so my dad passed away in 2012, but he used to say, when you leave Lincoln, you get to York, the traffic cuts by half. You get to Grand Island, the traffic cuts by half. You get to Kearney, the traffic cuts by half. That's how, like, in little towns we like measured it out. You get to North Platte, which you'd go to get to Wallace, go past North Platte, get to the Sutherland Exchange, and then head south for 25 miles. But anyway, it was a great upbringing. I grew up in a town of about 350 people. It's a farming community, so there's more people in the community, but I wouldn't have had it any different. I'm the youngest of 3 kids, so my mom and dad. My dad was a farmer. He also had cattle, so I'm a farm kid. Like, I
Gotcha.
remember in the early 90s when I was old enough and I could go put fence post in on my own. I literally would. I listened to. I mean, I remember. I'm not kidding you. So putting fence post around 2 quarters of corn that had just been harvested, listening to a Husker football game. So,
Wow.
yep,
Okay.
yep. And then, we had cattle. We had registered Angus cattle that he bred, and we calved out from January to March. But anyway, so I grew up on a farm. My mom was a teacher. She was a school teacher at Wallace Public School. Wallace Public School is still around.
What?
Class D2 school.
Okay.
Yep. I don't remember how they did in the football championships, but they were here in the volleyball championships. That was awesome. Super
Okay.
exciting.
Okay.
They got beat the first round. But yeah, so I played a lot of sports growing up, grew up on a farm, competitively did 4-H till I was an 8th grader. But just like a lot of kids in Nebraska, you grow up, you watch Nebraska. And I was fortunate enough that I had 2 parents that were willing to let me go to camps outside of the state and inside the state. And by the time I got to in high school, I was recruited for both basketball and volleyball. But I ended up at the University of Nebraska after taking all 5 of my college visits, but was a scholarship player from 1996 through
What
1999.
What made you choose volleyball over basketball?
Oh, that's such a good. So until I was a junior in high school, when I started playing club volleyball, like, my whole goal was I was going to play collegiate basketball. So, but I started playing club. I played for a club in Grand Island, Nebraska called Power Volleyball. So Clayton Luther ran the club, and I played with his. One of his daughters played for Nebraska, Laura Luther. She was actually my coach, and I played then with one of the sisters. But anyway, I basically started playing club, and we'd go around and we'd play at tournaments in Chicago, but we'd also play in Omaha and whatnot. And essentially, I just started getting recruited more heavily for volleyball.
Okay.
And so, and then, there's just something about volleyball that I love. It's such a momentum game and it can turn on a dime. And I'm not saying that basketball can't do that, because it totally can. But volleyball is a sport where the only time you control the ball is on the serve. And there's just something so exciting about that. And so, as I continued as an athlete and as a player, and then just with recruiting opportunities, I really honed in on volleyball.
Well, I'd like for you to share with everyone. You said you played for Nebraska 96
Through 99.
through 99.
Yeah.
And who were some of your teammates that
Um,
that volleyball fans would recognize
So,
besides yourself?
oh yeah, yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I played with great players like Lisa Reitzma. I played with Tanya Tauke. I played with Jamie Krondak. I played with Kate Cernich. I played with Fiona Nepo. Fiona Nepo is an assistant coach at Kansas State University now.
Okay.
Played with. Now I'm in the spot. I got to think of all my friends that are on my, our
Don't forget
our group
nobody.
text. Nancy Mendrin Metcalf. You guys might know who that is. She was an Olympian. So Jenny Kropp, she's out of Grand Island. Angie Oxley, Kim Barron. So what was really cool about the years that I played is Denise Kojal, Norfolk. So it was a lot of Nebraska young women.
Yeah.
So I think in Coach Pettit is a phenomenal coach. He was such a tactician, and he really, he deserves the credit of really building that base of Nebraska volleyball. John Cook has absolutely taken it to an astronomical place, but Pettit, in tandem with Dr. Barb Hibner, who was in the athletics and was one of the directors, he really had the foresight to take a look at kind of what had made football successful. And he really applied that to volleyball in a number of ways. And one of the ways that he did it is he really did grab the best players from the state of Nebraska. And he was also great at taking a kid that was super athletic, which honestly, that was myself. I was a pretty green player. I mean, I grew up in Wallace, Nebraska, Class D2. So, I wasn't in the club program from the time I was an eighth grader. I really only started playing club when I was a junior. But he was great at going out and getting kids that could jump high, that could move well laterally. And then he would, bring them in and teach them how to play
basically
volleyball.
School them.
Yeah. And so it was just a really fun time. So in 1995 was the first year that they won the national championship. So Allison Weston, Billy Winsett, Christy, I'm blanking on her last name right now. She's the head coach at Iowa State. Anyway, those three seniors were major players. Christy Johnson, they were major players in 1995. It was the first, national championship. And when we came in 96, it was really like those seniors had cleared out. And so it was a real big building year in 1996. But for some reason, that team, we just had really great chemistry. And we just made use of all those players that were on that team. And we still have a really strong bond today. Like, for example, I just said that we have a team, alumni chat that, yes, we are talking through every single match that is occurring. And it's a lot of the ladies that were played, really, 96 through, I would say 98. Yeah. And I think some teams, just like some players and teams, have really great chemistry. And I was really fortunate enough to be in a group of young women and now women, and we're still all great friends. And that's what I really cherish about it.
I like that concept because we have a similar concept with former players on the football team.
Yeah.
When we all stay in touch.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends they're like me, they're not very tech savvy. So we have to do the phone calls or the text messages.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, the concept.
Yes.
You guys built a friendship.
Yes.
While in the process of building a great program.
Yeah.
And, and to this very day, y'all are still successful. Another thing that I was just came to my mind while you were talking is I like the fact that you're basically still empowering women.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a huge passion of mine.
Yeah. Could you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So, I mean, that's always been really important to me. I think, again, it goes back to, quite frankly, my upbringing, where I had an amazing mother and father that really, in our household, there was like nothing that held you back.
Right. Right.
And I tell my mom this again, my dad's gone, but I tell my mom this all the time. I'll text her and be like, Mom, thank you for everything that you and Dad did for me, because I just really learned how to work, quite frankly. But I also had really great parents that basically, you said, really, there's, if you work hard, you can achieve it. And
Correct.
And I had a mom that was a school teacher. And so she worked outside the home. Not that there's anything wrong if you don't work outside the home. That's fine. But I had a great example of an independent person that was also a great mother. And so for me, I do have a passion for empowering women and, helping, women go achieve what they want to achieve, whether that's in the home, outside of the home, whether it be in athletics. Like, here's a really cool thing going back to the, 1996 through 1998 team. So it's really fun and exciting now because a lot of us now have young daughters that are playing volleyball and in sports or doing other things. Right.
Yeah.
And so it's really fun to see former teammates and kind of see where their families are going and support their daughters. So for example, my good friend Tanya Tauke Dorn owns Nebraska One Volleyball Club, and it's this amazing club. And I don't know how many kids she's got in that program. A lot. There's a lot of girls.
Is that here in Lincoln?
It's here in Lincoln.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of girls go through that program. My daughter, who's a freshman in high school, plays there, and I get to be an assistant coach this year. I'm
Okay.
pretty
All right.
excited.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you. But to be able to see the impact that she's had, not only on the sport of volleyball, but the city of Lincoln. If you see those Nebraska One green, stickers,
Okay.
that's her club. And she and I were roommates in our freshman year, and stuff like that. So
Well, I appreciate the fact that you, even after you had the success that you had, you still, in your professional life, is still finding time to help empower women. I think that's really big, because a lot of times I've noticed this in my personal life, that people that become successful,
yeah,
they tend to, and I don't mean this, I mean this as a joke, but they tend to get amnesia when it comes to helping others.
yeah,
It's more about, well, I made it. So instead of me reaching back to help someone else, they'll pull the ladder up behind them and just say, hey, too bad, so sad.
right.
But the fact that you have become successful as a professional, you're still finding a way to help other women become successful. I think that needs to be congratulated.
Yeah.
Because we don't give credit to that.
Yeah, and I think it's. I mean, I'll give you a literal example. So I went to where the cupcakes came from.
Okay.
I have a good friend who's an attorney here in Lincoln, and she hosted a party. And I think the one thing in regards to just women in general and successful women, and there's a lot of stuff that we have on our plate, is that right, you have kids, you have family, you have job, you have social, you have all these things. But I think when you're I don't know, I mean, success is defined in many different ways. So I
Right.
don't know that I've made it yet. I mean, I'm working really hard and
Well, you're
and trying to do.
successful. You're successful in my
Thank
eyes.
you. I appreciate that, and trying to do a lot of things. However, today, like, my day wasn't, I didn't execute it perfectly how I wanted it to, but I wanted to get to Tara's party because I wanted to see her and I wanted to see other ladies that were at the party, and I wanted to participate. And I think it's just um, having that mindset that your network and your friendships are really what make a life, and the experiences that you get to have with
Right.
people.
Right.
And I think right now, especially, right, we're in the holidays, and
Yeah.
a lot of times lifing just happens, but especially for very driven, very successful women, I I think it's just being committed to, even though if you don't have the perfect amount of time, you still make the effort. You still support your colleagues, your girlfriends, whoever that may be, so that they can go out and also achieve the things that they want to achieve.
Yeah. Well, encouragement. Period.
Totally.
Yeah. Sometimes just encouraging someone
Yeah.
is very important.
Absolutely.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket to get you happy on hour. Don't you go anywhere.
Concrete Industries, a Nebco company, has immediate job openings for precast production laborers. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $20 per hour and a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
At Union Bank, people don't have your money. Your money has people. First home people, investment people, people who answer the phone and your chats, dream car people, dream retirement people, driving your dream car in your dream retirement people, small business people, credit card people, and all the other people you need. At Union Bank, our people help you do more than you dreamed possible. So stop in and say hello. We can't wait to see you. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Don't be surprised if your kids seem bored when they have some time off from school. I'm Jenny Benson, president of the Nebraska State Education Association. While kids may not miss the confinement of the classroom, they may miss the routine of the school day. Help them add some structure to those free days by planning special projects. Rearrange a bedroom, plan a family meal, increase that batting average, and keep it fun.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Well, look here. I see we got a couple of shout-outs, so I got to give a big shout-out to my little brother down in Tulsa, Brett. Congrats on 5 years clean and sober, man. I'm really proud of you for that. My big brother, Otis Lee, man, don't eat up all the gumbo, man, but I appreciate you tuning in as well. And I think you got a friend that chimed in, Amanda?
I do, Amanda Kunze.
What?
I got it. Listen, she's the reason why some of these cupcakes are here. She owns Cupcakes and More.
What?
Here in Lincoln.
Well, we're gonna have to get to know Amanda.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to help her out. I don't want her
treats.
I don't want her to have to throw nothing away.
Yeah, 56 in Old Cheney area.
56 in
Cupcakes
Old Cheney.
And More.
Go get it and come back with it.
Get it.
Hey, I want to say thank you again.
Yeah.
For everybody that's that's tuned in and for just shouting out, man. Letting me know that you guys are paying attention. That means a lot to me. Now, Mandy, I got to ask this question.
Yeah.
You share quite a bit about all the stuff that you've done.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to focus more on what you're doing now.
Sure.
Could you share with us what you're into and what
Yeah.
your titles are? Or?
Yeah. Yeah, I really appreciate that. I have many titles. So I'm a really driven, competitive person that's always I like to deal with targets, etc. So majority of my day I have a corporate job.
Okay.
And I'm the vice president of finance at Resort Lifestyle Communities and Cameron General Contractors. And what we do between those two companies is design, develop, construct, and operate senior independent living communities across the country. So our community here in Lincoln, Nebraska is Savannah Pines at about 38th and Pine Lake. So that's a 55 plus senior independent luxury living property
Okay.
where we have independent residents that we love having them in our family at Resort Lifestyle Communities. And it's basically apartments for rent, but we have all the amenities in the building. So if our residents never want to leave the building, they don't have to. But if they want to leave the building, they have South Point pavilions down the way. They have healthcare by them. They have their worship centers, et cetera. And so we have Savannah Pines all over the country. We have 54 that are open and operating. We have another 7 under construction. So what I do really in my like adult life now, as far as what I do, is I'm in real estate and I'm in finance. So I'm the VP of like I said, finance for Resort Lifestyle Communities. And again, you could go to www.rlcommunities.com and find any of our 54 operating communities open all over the country.
Now, these living communities that you guys have,
Uh-huh.
they're for like age groups,
They're for retirement.
age.
Yep.
Okay.
Typically people that are in retirement. Typically the average age person in our communities are going to be 70 plus years of age, 80 plus years of age.
Gotcha.
And the reason why it's called independent living is because it allows that resident to be independent but not be to have socialization. A lot of times as people get older in age, they can really get isolated, especially if they have a partner that passes. But even just, especially in these times during COVID, right? You had people that were, really had to be isolated because they had to be really careful about their health care. Well, when people come into our communities, not only do they have support with, it's not like there's health care, but there's dining and there's housekeeping and there's a salon there. So again, if they never want to leave the community, they don't have to, but usually people want to be around shopping and they want to be able to go to their healthcare provider, et cetera.
That's a really, really big service. I mean,
it's a huge service. It's a huge industry, especially with, what's happening with the aging of our population. So that's been a great experience for me. I've been there since 2015. And then in addition, I also have, I'm also in real estate and finance, and I own and operate some self-storage properties, which is Store 365, STOR 365.com. I have a business partner. He understands operations. I understand financing and business administration. And so we have those. We don't have any in Lincoln. Those are actually outstate properties, but I'm really looking to purchase and acquire in Lincoln because I want to have properties in Nebraska and we want to build a portfolio in the Midwest.
You sound like a very busy young lady.
Oh, I'm yeah, I am. I am. And then I also have a brand called For the Girls Club, which is helping women to determine their own destiny through through the realm of their own wealth and empowerment. So that's something that I haven't necessarily been spending as much time in that business, but it's a brand that I have. I've trademarked a logo and we'll kind of see where that goes as I continue to move forward in my professional life.
Well, I'm going to say this. I admire the success that you had, even though you're humble, which I admire that as well. I don't know if you're giving yourself enough credit. I mean, I'm just being honest, because a lot of times we get so busy creating a life that we don't
Yeah.
actually give ourselves credit for the life we have already created.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, so you keep doing what you're doing.
Yep.
Just know that if nobody else has told you, I'm telling you on air, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Now, tell me about this volleyball adventure you're about to take on as assistant coach.
Oh man, listen, my daughter Blaine, God bless her. She's amazing. She's a freshman and
Which high school is she?
she's at East.
At East, okay.
Which East has a great volleyball program. I mean, she had a great time on the freshman team this year. So she had a great experience there, and she just wants to keep getting better. But the other thing too is she's coming back and she's playing with players that she played with club last year, and the head coach Liz, who's amazing coach, her assistant from last year couldn't help, so she asked if I would be willing to. And I really enjoy coaching. I actually did club coaching right after I got done playing, but before I had children. And I love coaching because I'm pretty tactical in that I can watch a player and see mechanics. And so I think it's what I really enjoy about coaching is helping a player overcome and get more efficient at a skill that helps them be more successful on the court. And that is a huge joy. Winning games is fun. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
And that's what we're all trying to do. But the joy of coaching is really helping someone improve on a skill that they want to improve on. But, obviously they can't do it themselves. That's why there's coaches and teams, et cetera.
Well, I'll say this. I think East is getting a great assistant.
Well, I'm not going to be an assistant at East. I'm going to be assistant at Nebraska 1. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking East.
No,
okay.
no.
Okay.
Just for club. East is where she played high school.
Oh, okay. My bad. My mistake. Well, listen, I will say this. I think it's smart that you're getting into something that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
And, and just the fact that you even have the time, sometimes 24 hours in a day is not enough.
No.
I
mean, time's just a thing. I mean, time's a boundary. And so, this, you do a lot of different projects. I mean, I think in this stage of my life, it's really being intentional about where I want to spend my time. And quite frankly, where I want to spend my time is either helping myself build my life for professionally or really with my children and supporting them to go build whatever they want to build. And so, it is, as you grow through life, right, different things become important. And that's, kind of where I'm at right now.
Well, it's just, I think personally, like I said, I think it's pretty big that you're willing to take on so many different tasks, because you got a lot going on. I mean, just
a little bit. I mean, I'm not perfect. Like,
no,
I'm really
but,
not.
Like, but you got a lot going on, though.
Yeah.
You got a lot on your plate.
Yeah, totally. And it's always a work in progress to keep myself organized and scheduled and get everything accomplished. And some days I do better than others. And, sometimes I fail and then I figure out how to do it differently.
Well, see, that right there is very important as well, because I always try to encourage people to understand that life is not easy for nobody. And sometimes when people come up short, they assume that they're failing, and that's not true. I mean, yeah, it may not have went the way you wanted it, but you still figure out a way to go back and get it back on track. And I just think that's very positive, and I think that's important, because if you give up, you know what the end result is, and giving up is not an option.
No, and you're not going to get. I mean, this is interesting that you bring this up, because I do think I was having a conversation with another friend actually at a birthday party talking about the transition and what that looks like for athletes when they get done playing at the university or whatever high level, and then they have to transition into the professional world.
Right.
It can be hard. And I think like this could be a whole nother topic that we could talk about, but in regards to failure, like you're only going to get better at something if you fail. If everything goes perfect all the time, like you don't I mean, yes, you might progressively get a little bit better, but it's really through those trying and then having a failure and figuring out that that a person gets better.
I agree 100% with that, because I've personally failed so many times.
Yeah.
But I've never ever had this give up mentality. So I've always managed to somehow, and I choose to call it God. I'm a spiritual guy. I believe in God. I think God just picks me back up and he gives me another opportunity to try again. And, and I always make jokes about, I like humor, so I use jokes, but I'm really not playing.
Yeah.
And one of the things I say is, my quit button broke.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not going to quit. I mean, I may not get where I want to go, but it won't be from a lack of effort.
Right.
Yeah, I'm never going to just say, you know what, I can't do it, and just throw in the towel. I'm not wired that way. I'm going to figure out, well, this way didn't work.
Right.
So let me bag up and think about this for a minute, and I'm going to try to go around this way and see if I can get there. So I guess it's the mindset, the work ethic, all of these things all come into play. And I think being an athlete, you've had to have a work ethic just to be on Nebraska's volleyball team. You didn't get there because they just liked you and they just wanted you on the team. No, you earned that.
Yeah.
And by you earning that, then that created a work ethic, because then you didn't want to let yourself down. You didn't want to let other people down.
Yeah, I think it kind of goes back to what when I said my friend and I were having this conversation. I think what it's hard about transition for athletes that get done playing college and they don't go on professional is they're like, I've always been great at something. Well, yeah, but you've literally been honing it since you were 5.
Right.
Here's why I say that, because I struggled. I mean, it was hard. You're like, but if you think about it, then once whatever endeavor you're pursuing, it's reps and process and being willing to try something. Okay, I didn't get it I didn't get it how I wanted to do it, so then I'm going to try it again, and it's doing it over and over and over and over again. It's just in our adult life, it's not necessarily playing anymore, right? It's like I'm trying this new business concept, or I'm trying this new relationship thing that I'm working on with my communication skills, but it's all practice. Like, I mean, I'm better at doing the show this time than I was the first time we were on, right? The more times you do it, the better you get at it, the more efficient you are. And so, I also don't have the quit button, which I'm thankful for. But the reality is that like creation is happening 24/7. It never ends. So you get to determine what you create.
Right.
It's up to you.
I agree with that. And I think, like I say, to me, it comes down to your mindset and it comes down to work ethic.
Yep.
That's kind of like, and I'm speaking for myself, that's the foundation which I build on every single day. I mean, if I get up, show up, and do what I need to do, it may not all happen, but at least I made an effort toward it. And then if I'm blessed to see the next day, then I'll do it all over again.
Right.
There's the repetitiveness I think you're talking about. You got to get up and do what you got to do every single day instead of sitting around waiting on it to fall out the sky.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just my personal opinion, because I don't know. I haven't been fortunate enough to have things just fall out of the sky.
No, I mean, okay, maybe some people, but no, I mean, no one is.
Yeah.
I mean, the people that are really successful they're doing process and they're doing it over and over again. So I listen to podcasts all the time. I'm constantly taking in information. And so one of the podcasters that I've been listening to, and the gentleman that I've been listening to lately, is Andrew Frisella. And he's, he created the 75 Hard Live program, et cetera. I haven't done that yet. I endeavored to do that, but I know that's a really tough program. But he talks about aggressive patience, and aggressive patience is this concept that, when people just think about, you can't just sit around and be patient. No, that's not what it is. You have to be aggressively patient, meaning you have to go pursue something aggressively, but understand that it doesn't just happen overnight. It doesn't just happen in a day, 2 days. Like if you have a target that you're going towards, you have to aggressively pursue it, but be patient for the result.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I agree with that too, because, being patient is one thing. I agree that it's important, but it's the difference between being patient and sitting there waiting on it to fall out of the sky.
Correct.
You got to go pursue some things.
Yeah.
And put it out. I call it putting it in the universe.
Yes.
And once you put it out there in the universe, seems like the stars will align.
Well, the universe only says yes.
Correct.
So if you quit, what does it say?
Oh,
it says yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You
See
want to
ya.
quit? It's And you know,
You're done.
And that's really that's as simple as you can make it. I mean, because if once you put it in the universe start working to make it happen.
Yeah.
But you have got to still be focused on what you're trying to get accomplished.
Right.
I just think that's important, but sometimes people don't quite understand that. Hey, we're gonna take one more break, and we'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket to get you happy on hour. Do not go.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln Families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches. We make the sandwich of sandwiches. We use fresh veggies because we don't hate salads. We just feel bad for them. We make our sandwiches exactly how you want because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day because stale bread isn't bread. It's croutons. Sandwich history is written by the victors. Good thing we have legible handwriting. Jimmy John's, the sandwich of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
Tune in to the Malone Radio Show from 9 to 10 p.m. every Sunday night to learn more about the Malone Center's goal to eliminate multi-generational poverty in Lincoln. It's the Malone Radio Show every Sunday night from 9 to 10 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Experience flexibility like never before with Ace Rent-to-Own. Whether you're decorating a new home or upgrading your electronics, they provide easy payment plan options that suit your budget. No credit checks, no hefty interest rates, just straightforward renting solutions designed with you in mind. Find great options to make a beautifully furnished space or surround yourself with the latest gadgets. With Ace Rent-to-Own, it's all within your grasp. Visit acerentoown.com and bring home more than just a product. Bring home a lifestyle.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
There's only one place this holiday season to shop for the sports fan in your life and get cash back for slightly used sports items you don't need anymore. Play It Again Sports. Check out their selection of new and used items, including home fitness equipment like treadmills, exercise bikes, and ellipticals. And get your lift with free weights, benches, and racks to add to your home gym. And don't forget, if you have anything slightly used to trade in, they'll give you instant cash. Holiday shopping starts and ends at Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
At Allo, we believe in the exceptional. From extraordinary whole home coverage to super fast speeds, our local teams are always on hand to make sure your service is running at top performance. Let go of lag, banish buffering, and enjoy outstanding service throughout your entire home. We believe in delivering nothing less than exceptional service, so that's exactly what we do. Visit us at allofiber.com to experience the exceptional.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Old School with DP and J.
We got a special guest in. We got Jason Peters.
All that's being asked of you is everything. Like, you have to give everything that you have to that program, to that team. If you want to be a champion, that's the only way, right? I mean, you have to commit to every lifting session, every strength and conditioning session, during the summer, during the spring, whatever it may be. It just has to be 100% commitment by everybody.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons.
And we're back. Man, I got to give a big shout out to my little brother, Charles. Mary Ellen, man, keep doing big things. Just know that I'm proud of you, Charles, man. I see you out there shining, and thank you for treating me with so much respect every time I come out. Got to give another shout out to him. I call him Spoonie. His name is Pernell Gaston. He's a former Husker, but he's my little brother. And he figured out a way to listen to the show tonight. So appreciate that, Spoonie. Man, keep doing big things. I got one other person I want to shout out. And I don't even know that they're listening. But I want to shout out my homeboy, Brad Scott Taylor. We know him as a.k.a. Ernest Taylor Jr. Man, thank you for checking out the show. This is it's kind of interesting. We was talking about being, I think you termed it aggressive patient or patient aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive patient.
A great aggressive patient.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that made me think about when I started thinking about that, the work ethic.
Yeah.
Then it all came true to me. I started thinking, man, what about this Nebraska women's volleyball team?
I know, right?
They handling their business. And I would like to know, since I don't know much about it, I'd like for you to speak to that.
Sure.
What do you know? Why do you think they're having so much success?
Yeah. So I can only speak from it literally from a fan perspective because even though I'm a former player, I don't, I'm speaking from my own experiences being a fan. So I'm a volleyball season ticket holder, and I've been to majority of the matches that were in Devaney. I went to the world record setting match, right? That was in the stadium, 92,000, I think it was 92,003. So that's the largest women's sporting event in history.
Yes.
Think about that.
Yeah, that's huge.
It was amazing. And it was, one, the university did a great job of putting that event on. Two, I just think the impact that it had on women's sport. You can see it all over in women's sports this year. Just the amount of coverage that it's received, the amount all over the country, all over the world. I had a colleague that was on vacation when that happened. Where was she at? She was in, I want to say, Greece.
Okay.
And they showed it in, not the whole match in Greece, but they, they put that, the world record setting event. So that was really exciting. And what's so, I think, fun to watch about this team this year is, I went to the red-white scrimmage. So the red-white scrimmage is the first match they have. And we're just such a balanced team physically, but we're also a very mentally strong, very chemistry focused team, meaning there isn't anyone on that team that isn't focused on the intention, which is going to the Final Four and now winning a national championship. And you could observe that throughout the year.
Yeah.
And you're talking about a team that has a number of young players, right? So we don't have any seniors on the team. We have a number of freshmen that play. Bergen Riley is the setter. She was the Big Ten setter of the year. Lainey Choboy is a defensive specialist that's had a huge impact on the program. Obviously, Harper Murray's on the left side. She was freshman of the year in the Big Ten. And then you have Merritt Beeson, who's the transfer from Florida. She's a junior, but she's had a phenomenal impact. But you just have, I love watching Becca Alec play. Every time she is on the court, she brings such an energy to the court and she does not give up. I was at the Arkansas match last night. And so, right, and outside's hitting the ball and she is ready to, play a block up, and she's done that multiple times. So she's a super fun player to watch. Obviously, Lexi Rodriguez is amazing. She's a libero. She's, the best libero in the country. But, take a player like Kennedy Orr, who was a phenomenal setter in high school, had some injuries, but now she comes in and she's a serving specialist, and she served the ball really well last night. And so I think what's really fun about this team is that, Andy Jackson, oh my God. Like, this is the thing about this team. This is why they're so fun to talk about, is there's literally not a position on the court that is weak, meaning we literally have an offensive threat every time. Sure, there are some offensive threats that are maybe more potent, but there's really not a weak point. And I can't say in Nebraska volleyball has had a lot of amazing teams. So we've won 5 national championships, 95, 2000, 2006, 2015, 2017. But in my humble observation as a fan, as a former player, I don't know that we've ever had a team that's as balanced as this team. I don't know that we've ever had a team that has the just mental fortitude and intention that this team has, and I think that's what makes them so fun to play.
Well, they've had quite a bit of success, and just to be going to the Final Four with all these underclassmen.
Yeah.
That's quite
But they don't play like it. I think that's what's so, like they just, and here's the other thing too. I think there are just some really great leaders on the team that, have really lifted those freshmen up for them to be able to achieve their athletic gifts. Merritt Beeson's a great leader. Lindsay Krause isn't on the floor. I love her. My daughters and I love Lindsay Krause. But even though she's been hurt now, she sprained her ankle, and I don't know how serious that injury is. She at least was suiting up, but she's a leader. Like she isn't a player where she got hurt and then she got totally sucked into herself.
Right.
And when she was on the court, she's one of those players that just, I think brought a lot of poise to the court. But even when she's not on it, she still does that. And I think that's where, that's why this team is so successful. Here's another player that hasn't seen the court. She's not going to see the court because she's a red shirt. But it's where's Caroline? Is she on here? Caroline Drew. I don't think Caroline Dravicious. Like in the red-white game, I was like, oh my God, that kid can hit the ball. She hits an amazing ball. She's an amazing player. She would start probably at any other school, and she's redshirting this year.
Wow.
Like, you really have to have a lot of, I think, humility and humbleness, and you have to have aggressive patience to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that means you're willing to go out on the court every day. You're not going to see it, but you're going to be aggressively patient, knowing that, if you stay, because the portal makes it. I mean,
oh man, the portal
that's
changed the
another
game.
show. That's another show.
Another show.
But this team, right? No seniors. I don't think anybody's declared yet. Although here's one thing I am excited about. Whitney Lowenstein, who was at Nebraska, who took a year off. She had a baby. I'm so excited to see where she goes. I think that's going to be an amazing story. She's a phenomenal athlete. I know she's entered the portal. She stepped away from Nebraska. I don't know all the specifics, but it's on social media that she amazing. She had a baby, and now she's gonna go into the portal and she's gonna go play. But going back to this team this year that's now going to go to the Final Four in Tampa. They're going to play on Thursday. They're going to play against Pitt, and I've only seen highlights of Pitt, but I just think this team is such a strong team. They've been so fun to watch, and I think what makes them successful is that every single player on that team, no matter if they're on the court or not on the court, are intentional about why they're there, and that they know what their end goal is.
Yeah.
It's really clear for them.
Well, you know what? First of all, I gotta thank you for coming on the show. And sharing this insight, because you have so much more knowledge than I do. I got to ask one last question before we wrap this thing up.
Yes.
How does Mandy Monson get her happy on?
Oh, man. Here's how I get my happy on. I love Nebraska volleyball. That's really been a happy part of my that's kind of been a respite for me, because like I'm either working in my businesses or I'm running my kids around, which I love very much. So that has been a good break for me. But I just really love, honestly, having interactions like this.
Yeah.
You know, being able to have great conversation, intentional thought, provoking conversation, and being around great people. And I love that. And if that's what I get to do for the rest of my life and have really intentional relationships that allow me to grow and I help others grow, then I'm
Then
winning.
mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Well, I it's well documented that I try to dance.
Oh, well,
And I
I
can't-
love dancing.
And I can't dance, but I think I can. But that's how I get my happy on. Hey, again, I want to thank everybody for listening. Hey, I'm going to wrap this show up like I always do. Every day you blessed the same. It's just another day in paradise. And no matter what, you got to get your happy on. Thank y'all for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Sunday morning. It's quiet, not in a weird, too quiet way. Calm, peaceful, tranquil. You pour yourself that cup of coffee. You slice yourself a hearty chunk of one of Beatrice Bakery's breakfast breads. Now, maybe you're an apple streusel guy. Nothing wrong with that. I can respect that. Personally, I'm a turtle nut man. Something about those pecans. But the real ones know, don't sleep on that date nut bread. Sweet, but not too sweet. Nutty, not overly. The perfect morning treat. Beatrice Bakery. Online at beatricebakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum. School taught you all about the 4 seasons, spring, summer, and so on. And then there's the way we really tell what time of year it is in sports seasons. Football season, baseball season, or off season. Well, what's the chocolate season? Well, it's now. And now, and now, and always. Whether you're looking for a caffeinated pick-me-up on the way to work, a little snack on the way home, or you need the perfect gift that's sure to be appreciated, it's time for the chocolate season. 40th and Old Cheney, or order ahead at thechocolateseason.com.